A new bride is forced to play a game per tradition of her eccentric family, new family's tradition, and she picks the one card that is a deadly game of hide and seek. They're going to have to kill her before sunrise. Will she live, will she not? I play Daniel Ladomas. I am the brother of her husband. I'm her new brother-in-law. Kind of hate my family, love my brother, think she's might be cool. Not into the whole game, but, you know, what are you going to do? It's family. Well, as you'll see from everyone but myself, I don't know, everyone besides myself is a lovely person. And so it was wonderful because of the personalities on set. I mean, the movie's really good and that's fun, but often what makes a great environment on set is the personalities and the directors and everyone involved. It was just, I know people say that in every movie, I've said it a lot, but I really mean it this time. It was a joy.
It's about a gaming family. It's not a family that you want to hang out with, though. They're a vulgarly rich, over-the-top rich family, and have some really odd traditions. So when my son brings home his beautiful bride, he's distanced himself from the family, and I'm so thankful that she's brought him back to us. But it kind of goes all wrong when our family tradition is to play a game at midnight. That's part of the tradition of everybody that comes into the family. And she just draws the wrong card. Well, you know, I've played so many sweet characters. It's not that. She's anything but that. She's very complex and fiery. She's dark and she pretends to be very sweet. I mean, I think she is actually. I think she is sweet, but it's not the right kind of kindness. There's a kindness to her, but it comes from a really dark place. Everybody got along great, and because they allowed us to have a lot of freedom in what the choices that we made, we were allowed to improv or bring our own personal ideas. The roles became much more richer for everyone, and I feel like everybody was extremely well cast, which is scary seeing the role that I played. But and we got along really well, and it was a very creative atmosphere. The directors are extremely creative, and they allowed us to enrich our roles, which was great. The script was great already, but I think we made it even better. I think they're going to love it. You know, it's the kind of movie that's a lot of fun to go to the theater to see because you feed off of other people's energy. It's a really quick-witted, smart-paced, intellectual horror film. It's got great humor, it's a thriller, it's a combination of all those things, and it's beautiful to look at. The lighting's great, the setting's divine, and you know, it just has all the components of a great movie.
Well, you know, I mean, they came to me and they said there's this film that looks beautiful. There's directors that, you know, I knew the producers, and they brought it to me, and I saw it. I've never seen anything like it. I mean, I've worked on like 80 movies, you know, and this was totally unique. So, you know, got in there. We wanted to do something completely classic, you know, like a Hitchcock film, you know. So it's symphonic and really mysterious, and it kind of goes with the look of the film, and it's beautiful, but it's strange. I think people will be very entertained. I think they're going to freak out. You know, it goes so crazy. It really lures you in by it just looks so beautiful. You're thinking, wow, this is almost like Downton Abbey or something, you know, and so gorgeous, and then it just starts doing this crazy stuff, and it's so funny and so scary. I think people love it.
This movie is about a young woman who marries into a wealthy family, and to become a part of the family, she has to play a game, and she draws the wrong card, and she has to survive the night.
It was a lot of fun. We had like the best team in place. We had fantastic producers. We were working with the best studio in the world. We had a lot of fun making it, and we ended up with a wonderful cast.
They were just great. I mean, they brought every single member of the cast brought something unique to their character, and I don't think we could imagine the movie without this specific cast. Like, they all just made it come alive for us.
I mean, honestly, so much of it was about leaning on the cast and the great script that Guy and Ryan wrote, and really grounding all the moments in a really sincere, emotional, character-specific way, so that we could do the fun horror stuff and also the really great comedy moments and not have it feel like two different movies.
So I play a woman named Charity, who is married to Daniel, played by Adam Brody, and is in somewhat of a loveless marriage with her husband. He refers to her as a gold digger. I just think she's ambitious, personally. But unlike all the other members of the family, she has little to no conscience about the night's events. She's very eager to ingratiate herself with her family members and to win at all costs. I mean, across the board, like, truly one of the nicest groups of people. I've actually worked with both Andie and Christian Brunn before, so that was really nice to walk into something where I knew some people, kind of helped take the edge off a little bit. But yeah, Samara's just a legend. Like, she's truly one of the loveliest people. We couldn't have been luckier to have a #1 like her. Henry Czerny, Mark O'Brien, just honestly one of the hardest working, kindest, talented group of people. Really great. I think it's a really fun piece. I actually haven't seen the film yet. This is my first time seeing it. But if it's anything like the script, it's wild, it is surprising, it is hilarious and absurd, and I think it's a real crowd pleaser. I think it's a good film to watch actually with a group of people, so I think people are really going to like it.
So I play Clara, who's one of the maids of the household. And Clara, I wouldn't say she's the nicest girl. Maybe, she's a bit of a you-know-what in school. She's very judgmental, but she's one of the favorites, She's got a secret ear with the man of the house. I think it's a really special project in that it's terrifying, it's gritty, it's shocking, and it's hilarious. I think it doesn't take itself too seriously. It has fun. It sort of mocks certain themes that we're exploring now. So I think it's sort of building into a new genre that I think we haven't seen in a while. So I think it's going to be a lot of fun. It's just fun.
This woman gets married into a family that has a very wealthy family that's made their money through board games and card games and sports teams, and they have a tradition when a person joins the family. They play a game at midnight, and she chooses a card that corresponds to a game that is, it's kind of life and death. And the family is relatively good at doing it and also relatively inept at doing it. So it's quite funny and at times beautifully horrific. I play the patriarch of the family, who, like many people who are in power, want to maintain that power, don't want to give it up. It's like that saying, if you are used to privilege, equality feels like oppression. So he wants to keep the family where it is, despite what needs to happen, which is the family needs to have a little lesson. Yeah. Super cast. Fantastic. Andie MacDowell, Mark O'Brien. Samara Weaving is... they're all awesome. Everybody's awesome, but Samara is so terrific in this. So terrific. Beautiful performance. And yeah, I hope they take away that film can get rid of all of your problems for 2 beautiful hours and leave you with something to think about your problems that is not negative. That's what I hope they take away.
Well, it starts with a really good script, and then we hired great directors, and then we had a great cast, and it's the script that really sort of dictates what we were trying to do, and luckily that was very strong right from the beginning. So there was no real confusion as to what movie we were making as we were going, because it was there on the page. So the humor comes from the characters, and it's played pretty real. So I think hopefully it all kind of works and meshes together.
I think they have. I hope they have as much fun with it as we did. Right? I mean, this is such a fun experience, and you just want them to go into this movie and see a mix of genres and just leave going, that was such a good time, and everybody had such a good time making it. You want them to feel it.
I play Fitch Bradley, who is one of the in-laws, and he's part of the crazy family, and he's very rich, and he is kind of a crazy person, just like the rest of them, and he may or may not try to kill the bride. Yes, so the climactic scene of the whole movie is quite a bloody affair, and that was the one that we started shooting. So it was 3 days of being covered in blood, and it's the end of the movie. A lot of stuff has gone on, and it really cemented us together because we were sitting there in ridiculous costumes, covered in blood for 3 days, getting to know each other, and sitting on chairs covered in plastic because they didn't want to get fake blood all over the chairs we were sitting on. It was a really rad way to start a movie. I recommend it highly. It's all over the place. It's action, it's thriller, it's horror, it's comedy. I just hope they have a bloody good time.
The movie is about a woman who marries a guy, me, who brings her into his family that is very rich, and they have this huge empire, and they have this strange tradition that when someone enters the family, they have to play a game. And she ends up picking a card that is the worst card she could have picked, which means it's basically a killer game of hide and seek. So that's kind of the setup of the film, and it's really hard to tell what happens after that without me spoiling anything. I play Alex Ladomas. I'm Samara's husband in the movie, and he knows what his family does, and he hates it. He doesn't want to be part of his family. He tried to run away from the family, and now he finds himself back, and he's faced with who they really are. We just laughed. We laughed the whole time. It was just silly, constantly joking, a nice atmosphere, which is what you want. Like, when you're making a movie like this, you want it to be light and fun, and it's a blessing. I feel very lucky. I think they're gonna love it. I think people already are really liking it so far because it's scary, it's funny, it's dramatic, it's emotional, and that's why we go see movies.
I play Grace, who's getting married to Alex Ladomas, and she thinks it's all going very well, and she's getting married, and the family's been intimidating, and they come from a lot of wealth, and they have a tradition where they play a game at the end of the marriage, and unfortunately, it's the one game that you don't want to pick in this particular situation, and mayhem arises after. We were just trying to keep a straight face in the scenes. Everyone was so lovely. We really became, we have a group chat on, we text each other all the time. I'm so happy that we get to hang out tonight. Mark and I, we just really would crack up in very, very serious scenes. There's a scene in a car where I really have to be really serious, and I think we stopped production for half an hour because we were just cracking up so much. And it was 4 a.m., loopy. The first time I met Andie, we were doing rehearsals, and I accidentally clocked her in the head with a foam brick, and at the time we didn't know how cool she was. She's amazing, and I really thought she was going to freak out or get me fired or something, but she was a legend. She was like, let's go again! Yeah, why not? Yeah, it was so much fun.